What?
Is
Daddy? What's going on? Another interview?
that an elf?
Tommy,
I kind of effed up the Christmas lights, Daddy, so I need you help me.
I told you not to touch that stuff until I was done with the interview with Mr. Patrick here.
Oh! It's the for the Terminator 2! Robert!
No, not him. It's a different Patrick. No, not him either. It's a
Tommy,
different
you look
Patrick.
like you're decorated for the Christmas season. It looks like you've got. It looks like you've got it. What kind of?
No. That's
do we
Jason
do?
Patrick. This is
What
a
do we-
different Patrick.
Oh. Never mind. Bye.
Folks at home, welcome to the show tonight. We are here live, live the tape with the one and only. I've been trying to get this guy on the show for decades. Well, actually, not really decades because the show's only been around for about 5 years, 4 years, but for a long time.
I had no idea.
I wanted Troy Fromin on the show. Folks at home, the one and the only Troy Fromin. Troy Fromin in the house tonight. Troy, how the hell are you doing?
Elefante.
Folks at home, Troy Fromin on the show. I'll tell you one thing. It's funny. Let me start the show this way because I found something very interesting. Troy, before he started into acting, one of the coolest things was, and a parallel to me, even though I'm not an actor, even though I have done some indie horror work, but the parallel is Troy's dream as a kid was to die in a horror movie. Is this correct, Troy?
Absolutely.
Well, guess what?
I died in a lot of them.
You died in a lot of them, and the one thing we have in common in this life, well, other than our love for animals, of course, and we'll get to that in a little bit, is we have both died in horror. I died in an indie horror movie. I bit the. Oh my God! For folks at home, if you didn't see it, I uploaded the footage to my channel last month during Halloween. If you never saw it, when I die in the indie movie For Love of Zombies, Troy's died in probably a lot more than one, but yeah. So tell us about that dream that you've had, because honestly, that's a respectable dream. I respect you for having that kind of dream. Tell us about your background and your dream of dying in a horror movie. Where the hell did that come from?
Well, it all came from television and the movie theaters, like things like the old classics like Frankenstein, Dracula, everything. I couldn't wait for the TV guy to come over to the house, my grandparents' house.
Yeah.
I'd stay there on the weekends, and I'd
Right.
look up every horror movie at any time I could find. I'd circle it, and
Yeah.
this War of the Satellites of the Gargantua, all that old stuff, man.
Yeah.
And then the Outer Limits, the Twilight Zone, everything. I just couldn't stop watching TV.
Yeah.
And then, especially the Hercules movies, the Golden Voyage of Sinbad, and those movies that really got me. And
And
then
you
I couldn't get yes.
And kids today don't understand and not everything was so easily accessible back then. You had to wait around for when they were on. Like if you wanted to watch the Saturday night horror movie or whenever it was on, or a Sunday, sometimes on a Sunday it was even on. You had to plan your day around it because that's when it was on. You couldn't just say, "Oh, I'll just watch it whenever," or stream it whenever. It was appointment television, especially stuff like that was obscure stuff, monster movies and horror movies like that. But yeah, I mean that was what was the official first horror movie that you bit the dust in? Because I've
Well,
seen
let me
it.
sidetrack for a second. What
Yeah.
you said. When
Yeah.
I was a young kid, and before I had to catch the bus for elementary school,
Yeah.
we had a block away was this independent theater. So, and there's this hole in this fence. So I'd go run over there through the hole in the fence, through the field, and look across the street what the next movie was
Right.
going to be.
Oh yeah, on the marquee, right? Yeah,
This
yeah.
is before the newspaper got to my house.
Yeah, okay.
So I'd see what the marquee was. I'm all, damn, hell yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
I saw the old fashioned the movie Coma there.
Yeah.
This dates way back to the Bugsy Malone with the kids.
Mhm.
I mean, that was a time of greatness over there. So then I'd run back home just in time to catch the bus because I knew what I was going to be watching on the weekend.
Yeah. And that's another thing is just this that we don't talk about, and I haven't brought up before on the show. The newspaper, that's where you found out when the movies were playing, or you just read the marquee. Now it's just everything's on your phone. The 90s we had movie phone. We called movie phone and everything, but that
Welcome
was
to Movie Phone.
for Titanic, press one. For Titanic with nudity, press two. Anyway, it was a good time. I don't want to dwell on that, but but tell us how you transitioned from being such a movie buff and lover of movies into the industry itself. I know you've told the story 1001 times, but you're going to tell it in a Cliff Notes version for Root TV tonight for
Okay.
1002.
Yeah, yeah. So I was all into that. My Bible was Fangoria. I'd be
Oh
reading
yeah. Oh
Fangoria in
yeah,
class,
absolutely.
looking at
Classic.
all these horror films and just dreaming about being in one. So,
Yeah.
and then so I'm at the newsstand and I'm seeing this stuff, and I go, there's a magazine called Drama Log.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm rooting through it, and in the back there's these classifieds of opportunities to be in independent student films, this and that, and some horror films too.
Yeah.
Oh man, I bought that every week. I got my own headshot made, and I just
Mm-hmm.
envelopes. I just started promoting myself, sending it to everywhere, and I got independent movie parts you know from this like about maybe 10 from
Yeah.
my own submissions in the early
Yeah.
days.
Yeah. And you were always from the area. You were always from West Coast. You never were you never
Right. Yes.
so that helped. That helped tremendously. I mean, if you're born in Idaho or something, it's a little
Right.
tougher to
No, I was in
break
the
in.
home advantage. Yeah, sure.
Yeah. That's that New York or LA, LA, of course, more specifically, but then of course, as we all know, through those parts and movies after movie, you can check out all the stuff and work that Troy has done. Of course, that led him to what a lot of people remember him from, of course, Big Ox from Saved by the Bell. How did you get that gig? Did you have to audition for that, or you had to audition for that, right? Did you
Mm,
just how did that come?
yeah. No,
How'd you get that
at
gig?
that. I'll tell you. At that time, I had a manager and an agent combination
Right.
that I got. Actually, going back to the drama log, I actually got a co-starring part in a movie called Speak of the Devil because of drama log. I auditioned
Okay.
and I met a guy on there, and he introduced me to his manager. And I met with the manager, and she believed in me. And then
Yeah.
I got the manager and agent thing, and then they got me my first SAG card,
Yeah. Oh, nice.
which
Nice.
which brings me back to the question that I forgot because I'm stoned.
That's all right. So you auditioned for the role of Ox. It
Yes,
wasn't, yeah.
yes, she
And
called me. I got the audition for you for this show called Saved by the Bell, which I'd never even heard of till she
mhm,
mentioned, but it was been
yeah,
playing and stuff like that. So I went in there and I read as the part of Scud,
yeah.
and
Okay.
then just like 2 hours later, if you're gonna get the part, they call you. You hear about it 2 hours later usually,
Yeah. Yeah.
or right away. So they want you.
Yeah.
So they cast me as that, and they did that. And then a week later, my manager called me and said, "They love you, Troy. They love you, but they don't want that character.
And want to change
Um,
it. Yeah.
yeah, so they want to try you out as this guy named Ox with football. Just go there and do the preliminary, the lines and stuff. And it was just protocol. They wanted me. All I had to do is not mess up my lines. I did a few lines in front of everybody right there, and then I was Ox.
What lot did they film that on? You remember where was that?
There's two lots. I know there was NBC. There was like in Studio City,
Yeah.
and there was another location somewhere else. I'm sure people know. I just can't remember right now.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
was I that aired Saturday morning. I don't know if it was syndicated or across the country at the same time, but
it
it
was
aired
syndicated. Sure.
syndicated. Okay. So
Oh yeah.
in our area, I'm at South Jersey, Philly area. It aired on Saturdays. The problem was it was sometimes was in opposition to pro wrestling. I'm a big pro wrestling fan growing up, so I had to choose between Hulk Hogan and Ox. 9 times out of 10, I probably picked Hulk Hogan, even though I Saved
Oh,
by the
sure.
Bell was a great show. But
Yeah.
after the fact, I went back and watched a lot of it. But that was unbelievably huge show. Now, one of your buddies, on a depressing note, I believe I don't know how long it's been, a couple years now. That Dustin Diamond passed away, I believe, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's sad. What are your memories of Dustin Diamond? Well, folks at home, if you don't know what I'm talking about, he played a character called Screech on the show. What are your memories of Dustin?
Nothing but fond memories. He's the only one that was like, you know, because he might have been like he was not with the cool sect of everybody. He was
Yeah,
kind of like the nerd.
yeah,
But back then those actors, their parents were in their dressing rooms. They
yeah,
needed supervision by
yeah.
law or something.
Hmm.
So his dad was always in there. He invited me in there, and I played video games with him. We got along. Yeah, it was cool. We just, when we go around the set, we got along.
Nice,
Nothing but good
nice.
memories. Yeah.
They better be still sending Troy Fromin residual checks from Saved by the Bell whenever they air it again. On do they?
Well, while we're on this subject, yeah, I do get some. They're small, but I
Yeah.
have a present for you.
Oh, the residual check.
Yeah, this is from the Wonder Years,
Oh yeah,
and
remember you were on. I was
I
going to
don't know if
ask
you
you
can
about it.
read this. Is it
Let me.
backwards, or can you?
To
Is it
it
right?
says to my it says it's right. It says to my buddy Ryan from Troy Ox Froman. Look at that. Bank of America residual check from the Wonder Years. Payroll check not valid, and it's signed. Pay the order of Troy Froman. And let's see what the amount is. Holy shit, $1.32.
You want this?
Yeah, yeah,
Just send me
absolutely.
your address, and it's yours.
I'll frame it. I'm not even gonna cash it. I would frame it on the wall. I'll send
And
it.
of course, I was gonna do a stupid contest for it, but I want you to have it because we're doing this now, and I got this.
Awesome. Of course, I would send it. I will keep it as a memento on this wall. You can't really see right now, but that's interesting. That's still that you got a check from the Wonder Years, because that does. I don't even think that airs anymore. It's just runs on I think it's streaming on Hulu. So I guess
Yeah.
by law, they still have to divvy it up, and that's interesting. Yeah. Now, pardon my ignorance, but what part? I know it had to be a smaller part, but what character were you, and what episode of the Wonder Years? Because I
Okay.
watched that show as a kid. I remember the show. I just can't place what you played on it.
This happened at the same exact time I was doing Say by the Bell.
Okay. Oh, really? I
So
didn't know that.
they
Oh,
didn't
wow.
write me into back-to-back episodes, so
Yeah.
I didn't know what's going to happen from week to week.
Yeah.
So my manager, agent, whatever, sent me through the Wonder Years, and I tried out for this like John Belushi kind of pig at the cafeteria, just
Yeah.
stuffing food in his mouth was the description.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I went in there and I just did my magic, and I got the part of Slovosky.
Okay.
So I'm slurping up Jello. I don't remember. I'm putting whole hamburgers in my mouth, and I'm
And
going. I'm not going to brush my teeth tomorrow. Just saying stupid things like that.
I
I
gotta
bet I
go
could
back
do
and
this in
watch it
one
now.
bite. It's a total John Belushi scene.
Yeah, yeah. I gotta go back and watch it. I think they're all
And
on
then they
Hulu.
brought me back, and the next week after that, for the drinking. No, not the drinking. That's the other. For the student driver road test. It's
Okay.
called the road test.
Yeah.
So I'm in the car with little Kevin, Fred Savage, right?
Right, right, right.
And these hippie nerd and this other girl.
Hmm.
So we're like this all like, and then the instructor. So we
Yeah.
got this whole thing through the whole movie, the whole episode. We're trying to learn how to do driving, and there's so many cool little funny things in there, and I got a really great scene in there.
Yeah. No, I love that show as a kid, and as many people did. And now I'm kind of visualizing that. I think I do remember a character like that. I've seen most of them. I just got to judge. It's been so many years since I've
You
watched
could
it.
cut back in post. I got those clips on my YouTube.
Yeah.
And if you want
Maybe
to
we'll cut,
cut back
maybe,
on clips and put them in there, it's right there, man.
we're going to put it in. We're going to put them in. We're going to put them in right about here.
Those with natural charm, and those who had to work for it. Okay, everybody, watch. One fight. Go, 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 go.
Great.
Like last week's leftover tuna casserole,
What's an orgy?
where the fondest dreams and aspirations of young adults reach their zenith. Hey, tomorrow, guys. Tomorrow, 18 chili dogs. And I'm gonna go to bed without brushing my teeth. And the quest for knowledge became its own reward.
Also,
And we're back, and we're back, and we're back, and we're back. What's that,
so
Troy?
I
Also,
mentioned
what?
this on other interviews, but at the same time, so Saved by the Bell, I called me back,
Yeah,
and so
Mhm.
I signed on for that for the next week,
yeah.
and then at the same time, Wonder Years called, and they
Right.
wanted me also, but I was already
Really?
signed for Saved by the Bell. Wonder Years got pissed off, and they wouldn't
Oh,
write me. After 2 episodes, they
yeah.
they let the, you know how they are.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Poo poo. Bye bye,
Yeah.
Fromin.
That's it. That's it. Yeah. It's one
But
or the
that
other.
money was better. That money was better. But
Hmm.
anyway,
Yeah. I mean,
that
and they're competing. I think. Let's see. Wonder Years. God, shit. Let me think. Wonder Years was on. Was it a CBS show? I can't remember if Wonder Years was CBS. I
I
God,
would not.
it's been so many years. I think Wonder Years. No. Wonder Years was ABC. Um, and Saved by the Bell was in syndication. I want to say it might have aired on NBC.
NBC.
So yeah, so you had NBC and
Because we shot it
ABC.
at NBC. Yeah.
Yeah. So no wonder they were pissed. But I don't blame I don't blame you though. I don't blame you one bit. But that's interesting. So before I move on to the next thing, a very big, newer thing that I want to talk about. How old were you during that debacle when they wanted you for the one show? And how old were you? Do you remember?
22 and 23.
Wow, that's a hard decision for a young kid to make it. And you
Well, it's
made you,
my manager told me, "Yeah, I have to do this, but I had to tell you we had to turn on the Wonder Years." I'm like,
yeah.
okay.
So he made the decision for you, right?
Oh, yeah.
Or
Her name
she,
was
yeah,
Janice Hansen,
yeah.
and she passed away. I saw a couple years ago. She
Oh,
hasn't
that's
been my
sad.
manager for years. I have a new
Yeah,
manager and agent now,
yeah.
but she played Gloria on the Odd Couple TV show.
Oh, okay, nice.
She was a Playboy model also way back when.
Nice. Well, I'm sitting. So this is, let me see, end of September last fall, this past fall. It's still fall. I'm sitting in a movie theater watching this movie I had been anticipating for many I guess God shit I guess years now because the first one came out in 19. So saw it the opening night. I saw it before the opening night. They had a special premiere at a weird theater.
The
Went
IMAX.
the IMAX premiere, yeah. And I'm sitting there and I'm watching Joker 2 or Full Age U or whatever you want to call it. And I mean, you can hate me. I've said this on the show before. I've said it twice on the show before. I did a whole friggin' review of it. You can hate me all you want. I enjoyed the thing. I don't know, but I know it's getting a lot of hate, but we'll talk about that in a second. Unjust hate. I mean, it's okay. Everybody's got their own opinion, but anyway, I'm watching the movie, and I remember, we were friends on Facebook, and I know who Troy was. I know we didn't do the interview, but I'm watching this thing, and I'm thinking, holy shit, that's Troy Froman's in this. I had no idea. And more than and a good handful, maybe a half dozen times, some good scenes. If you didn't know, he played one of the inmates at, I believe, Arkham Asylum, where Joker was sent to after his crimes. And you played inmate number. I don't think he had a name in it, but
Inmate
pretty.
E or something. I don't know.
Yeah. So like I'm
Igor.
texting my brother. I'm because he's from my brother Justin's familiar with you. And
Is that
I'm pretty
Justin? What? What's his last name?
DiBiase.
Okay, I know. Okay, got it.
Yeah. So and there's another connection to him too with you and you might not know about because you couldn't have known about because you weren't there. but he he was shocked at it. It was like, oh shit, I didn't know Troy was in it. So then he goes on his Facebook and you had posted something about it. I'm like, oh, I must have missed it because the stupid algorithm doesn't tell us anymore everything or
Yeah.
doesn't show us everything. So I had no idea, even though you might have talked about it a couple times. And then I messaged you, I think towards the end or after it. I can't remember if it was during it or after it. And and I found it interesting that you didn't even know for sure, if your scenes or if you, I mean,
Right.
the scene
Yeah.
itself is in it. It's an important scene, scenes, plural, but you didn't even know for sure that they didn't, until the movie was released. So let's backtrack. Tell us a little bit about that experience of working Joker 2, for Todd Phillips.
Well, my current manager and agent sent me a self-tape audition, and they
Mhm.
didn't say what it was.
Oh, really?
So I had kind of feeling about what it might be.
Hmm.
And then so I did an audition and I used Tommy as the I guess what I didn't know what was going on at the moment. I put
Yeah.
Tommy in the chair, like I was doing the joke, like and he was the prisoner.
Yeah, yeah.
But I had no idea what's going on. I'm just going on the script with like just read this, do your best. We're not telling you what this is. And then so they contacted my manager and agent and said, "We like Troy not as that part, but just as one of the featured inmates.
Yeah.
He may or not have lines. If that's a breaker, a deal breaker, then
Yeah.
let us know." But and I said, "Yes, of course I want a
Take the
feature.
gig.
Yeah, I got 3 weeks work on in the DC universe, even though it flopped. But I
Mhm.
agree, it was a great movie. I liked the direction they took.
Yeah.
My personal opinion was there's three too many songs
Yeah.
personally.
Yeah.
And
Well,
the ending, I like the ending.
I mean, not to spoil it. I mean, we could talk about it later if we want to do a spoiler alert or anything. I enjoyed it. My initial, so I didn't hear anybody else's review. Of course, I saw it before it got the general release. I went out of that movie with nobody else's opinion to influence me, and it was a positive review from me. I do agree with you. I think they could have certain scene that was my only complaint. I think there were certain scenes where they could have cut back on the songs and maybe had a little bit more dialogue,
Yeah.
rather than the songs. But other than that, I didn't have a fucking problem with it. I don't understand. So my question to you is because there was a comedian who was in this movie, Tim Dillon, and he seemed to portray, and whether he was bullshitting or not, that when he was filming his parts, he didn't even realize that it was part musical. Troy, did you realize? I knew maybe I was smartened up like a year in advance because when Todd Phillips announced it, it was kind of like leaked that what it was going to be part musical, part dialogue, regular scenes. Did you know it was going to be part musical when you started filming, or you had no idea till after the
No,
fact?
I did know.
Okay, so
In
you
fact,
know, yeah,
I joked in the dressing room when they were fitting me for clothes.
yeah.
I said, so and they don't want to say nothing. They don't want to say, so let me just guess and tell me if I'm kind of right. And so my guess was, does the Joker guy like do something to the water and everybody in the prison starts breaking out into a song and dance or something? And she's all, no, it's nothing like that. I said, okay, that's just what I speculated in my head.
Well, I mean, it's funny you say that because, you just say, I'll use that phrase you just said, what you speculate in your head. The reason the suspension of disbelief for me when I'm watching this, and I realize there's a lot of comic book fans who aren't fans of musicals. And me personally, I don't go out of my way to go watch a musical. But I enjoyed it because it kind of fit. If you remember from part one, there was a lot of speculation that a lot of the shit going on in the movie was in his head, in Joker's head, because he was a head case. He had
Right?
mental illness. So that's while I'm watching this, I'm like, oh well, the dialogue scenes are real. Some of the musical scenes, maybe all of them are in his head. Maybe the romance is in his head. That's how it sold me. But there are some people who are just like violently shitting on this movie. I'm like, I I don't know. I just I didn't see it. I enjoyed the ending. I thought it left it I thought it was interesting. It wasn't a boring ending. And Troy, you did a fantastic job in that, man. You were I did you what I want to ask you about the scenes you were in.
But do you
Um
want to hear the story?
yeah, tell me.
I don't know if you heard the story yet.
No, I don't
When
I didn't hear anything
I
about
got
it.
the part, I was locked in,
Yeah, yeah.
So I had a wardrobe fitting on camera day with the other inmates.
Okay. Yeah.
So I go in there to the Warner Brothers on this massive set that they built.
Yeah.
It's like it's unbelievable. We the set was actually up, like that,
Hmm.
just we had to go up this ramp or stairs to get to
Right.
the set.
Yeah.
And what they did was just, oh, the money is unbelievable. So he goes, "Hi, Troy. I'm Todd Phillips. I'm your director." I go, "Yeah, hi, I know." Yeah. So we're gonna get you guys three of you guys lined up, and we're gonna film you with these clothes on, and then they're gonna play this. So they're coming in close on us, and they got this music going. The sad music.
Yeah. Violin.
So then I'm like, so they told us to make a character for ourselves in our head. So like
Yeah.
something that, you know, that our little quirks or something.
Hmm.
So they showed something that on this film of all these different characters from the 80s that were real. So I adapted to one of them where was like a lurch kind of dumb ass
Yeah.
character.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
incorporated that with me. So when the camera's coming close like this, I
Hmm.
like tap the guy to my left like this. He looks like this. I go, like a, and I'm playing like I'm like a dumbass retard, right? So then Todd comes in and goes, What's your deal with this guy?" He goes, "I don't know, I'm just having fun." And then when he goes, "Hey, you guys go home," I went like this. "Okay, bye guys, thanks a lot." Yeah, so Todd told me later he was right there. He's gonna fire me for thinking I was like mentally unstable, because I
Oh,
was in
well,
character.
you were selling
I
it
was in
that well.
character,
Yeah.
and
Yeah. Oh
I
yeah.
tricked him. I almost got my
Yeah.
ass fired.
Oh man, he really thought
So
you were.
I tricked him, the
See
master of
the
comedy.
well, I'm
And
glad.
then let me one more thing while we're here.
Yeah. Yeah.
He later told me in my ear, because he let me do improv and stuff. There's
Yeah.
things in there you haven't seen that was cut out that I wish there were in.
Yeah.
Little things. And then he goes in my ear, "I'm so glad that you made yourself retarded because I could do anything I want with you."
Well, I mean, really, I mean, you're gonna see. I still buy DVDs. I still buy Blu-rays. A lot of times, movies like that have the cut scenes, so it might be worth it to pick up the Blu-ray.
Oh, I'm buying. Oh yeah.
Yeah, yeah. There's probably, I mean, not only for you're in the movie quite a bit,
Oh,
but
I'm buying that shit. I'm watching like Kung Fu Rascals.
yeah, you gotta cut up the. I don't know if you're well, maybe after the fact, cut it up and cut up the parts you were in and add it to a new reel or something.
It entered my mind. Do you know my reference about the Kung Fu Rascals?
Kung Fu Rascals, not ringing a bell. Hit me with it. I don't refresh my memory.
Kung Fu Rascals is a Super 8 film we did, and it just got, back in the early, like 91. Or
Okay,
it's like an underground gem. We shot it silent over a course of a year.
okay,
Steve Wang. You could look it up later. We could talk about it later. But
yeah,
they just came out a Blu-ray special with
huh,
all the stuff that that Steve had. And I
yeah,
saw myself when I was younger, when I was like 21 or 23 or something like that,
yeah,
that I
yeah.
never saw before. And I brought a tear to my eye because I'm looking at myself way back then, things I thought never was photographed. It's trippy.
Kung Fu Rascals. Where can people watch that at now?
Well, you can watch it on my YouTube channel.
Oh, it's on. Oh, it's upload on YouTube. Cool.
I uploaded it,
Nice,
but you can
nice.
get a Blu-ray version now with the special features of behind the scenes
Yeah,
and pictures. It's just I can't believe how elaborate they made this thing. It's like
yeah.
everything is there.
Kung Fu Rascals, but let's not forget about the movies, the homework that I was given because I didn't even know about these movies, and I have a big question about. I have a huge question
Oh,
I have
Yeah.
a big question about these two movies that Schroeder's recently in, starting in, I believe the first one was dropped in 2020, and the second one was a couple years ago, 23. Oh, I guess it's going to be 25 in a month. So I guess that's 23 is already 2 years ago, or a year and a half ago. Stalker, the Stalker, and the Stalker 2. Tell us a little bit about the Stalker and the Stalker 2. But before you do, here's my thing, because I don't want you to say it. I want to say it. I'll spoil it. Should I spoil it, or should I just plug the movie and tell them to watch it? What do you think, Troy?
Spoil it, man.
All
Spoil
right.
it.
All right. Okay. So first of all, I loved the swerve because throughout the Stalker 1, they lead you to believe that Troy is the creep, the stalker. Uh he is not. He that is a swerve. He's stalking this woman, and that's, there's this, I don't want to tell you what happens, but it's not him. It's not Troy. But what ends up happening, Troy dies. He gets strangled I believe it was in a car, I think. I want to say he
Yeah,
gets,
my pizza delivery car.
yeah, he gets strangled in his pizza delivery car. Now, I want you to talk about Stalker 1, but when I'm watching Stalker 2, Troy is back, and he's back to life as the same, I'm pretty sure the same character. How the hell are you reincarnated? Did they have like Reanimator, or did they give you the they,
Well,
they shoot you up with
obviously,
your,
obviously, you took a piss while the explanation of that answer was on the screen.
all right, I probably did. I might have missed that. Explain. How did you come back to life?
All right, so there's a whole thing like where they first introduced me, and I'm like, well, so when are you going to do it? Because, see, what he did, he made me his new henchman
Right.
because
Okay.
she shot the meter maid person,
Yeah.
which turned out
Okay.
to be his henchman.
Right. Okay.
So he said, "You're lucky I didn't kill you. I made you my whatever."
Yeah. Okay. So
So
you don't
I have to
actually.
work for him, knowing that he could kill my family or me at any second.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So
Okay.
I'm his slave basically, but I'm his
Yeah.
like, I'm a comic relief kind of. I
Yeah.
play it like a dumbass because that's the way I am.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
my only thing is like, we're gonna do it soon. We're gonna kill the family, and I'm
Hmm.
like, yeah, yeah, yeah. But he goes, I know you can have Wendy. I think he's just like, you know, um, fucking with me, saying, appeasing me
Yeah. Yeah.
because
Yeah.
he wants to kill everybody, but I want Wendy.
Right. Right.
Right.
That was interesting. I think they're both streaming now in a couple different places, but I watched them on Tubi, and I was entertaining as all hell, especially part one. Part two is good too. I'm wondering, did they make that decision for your character before the fact or after the fact? Like, we got to get Troy in part two, but we gotta. I don't know. It's interesting. I don't know if they wanted to if they knew that before that they were going to keep you alive.
No, they didn't. They didn't.
Okay. Okay.
They made enough money. They decided they want to do a Stalker 2.
Right.
So they lost the lead actress
Yeah.
because their agent wanted money.
Yeah.
And then the other one had not the psycho guy.
Yeah.
He had some personal problems. So the other
Okay.
guy came on board,
Gotcha.
but I think it still worked out pretty good.
Your character's kind of lovable, I think. I don't know why. It's just kind of like this lovable I don't know what the word is, but
Enough.
yeah, a lovable oaf, I guess. But
But do you remember the cereal bowl thing?
yeah.
Oh yeah? Well, tell me what happened.
The scene with the cereal bowl, you mean, or the
Yeah.
actual? Oh shit. I vaguely remember. Hit me with it. Go. I'm having
He's coming down. He's
I'm
all,
having a
"Where are
flash.
you? I need help with the body."
Yeah.
And he comes down. I got a bowl of cereal.
Well, that's shades of that is shades of Tiny in oh god damn. That's shades of Tiny in House of a Thousand Corpses when he's coming down, this horrific stuff is happening, and he's eating not Cocoa Puffs. I don't even remember whatever cereal you were eating, but it was like corn puffs or whatever it was. Was that what
Yeah, well, I don't even know what the fuck I was eating. But
Yeah,
anyway,
yeah.
the script called me. I'm eating a bowl of cereal, He goes, "What are you doing?" I go, "We took forever, and I got hungry." And then I offer him a bite,
Yeah.
and then I improved. I said, "Why don't we just do this and see what they say?" Pour the bowl of cereal over my head, and we did it, and they loved it. And we did it on one take.
The improv is interesting because there's a lot of stuff that when you're working for a director who I kind of already know the answer to this, but I want to hear you say it. That is sticks to this that wants you to stick to the script and doesn't want you to stray, or writer director that wants you to stick to the script. It's always much better, isn't it, when you work with somebody like that who allows you to do stuff like that and dump a bowl of cereal in your head or improv some lines or even Todd Phillips who let you improv some like mannerisms and stuff. And isn't that
Absolutely,
isn't that the
yeah,
best instead of just having
it's the
somebody?
best.
Yeah. You
That
work
way
for the
you're.
yeah.
That's the way. That's how you act.
Right, right, right. Have you ever what's your experience when you have somebody who wants to do the opposite and just kind of like it's a little bit more like work and less fun, I'd imagine. If you just want to, it's like more robotic, I guess, right?
The only time I experienced the low budget movies, they let you do whatever they want.
Hmm.
Basically, I've done whatever I wanted, which is
They
great.
they didn't have you improv. You didn't Ox wasn't able to improv on Saved by the Bell though, right? You had a script
I
there.
think the only time I improv
Yeah.
is when I tap the black girl Lisa on the shoulder,
Yeah.
and I said bye, and that stuck. I created
Yeah.
my own catchphrase.
Yeah. That's
Then they
interesting.
wrote it into it. Bye, bye.
That's really how the best stuff is created. It's through improv and just off the cuff shit. That's really whether it be television, movies, um, any kind of live, I always go back to pro wrestling, but that's where the best stuff is, the non-scripted stuff. And it applies to all forms of entertainment. But when I
Here's a
talk, what's that?
here's a great example.
Yeah.
When I was doing a movie for Paramount called The Perfect Weapon.
Okay. I've heard of
You
that.
know, you heard of that, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Jeff Spigman.
yeah.
This goes way back when. So the script called, I shot a day there, and it called for me to say no, da 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 da, da. And instead I said no, 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 no. Then I went da 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 da, and the
Yeah.
script supervisor comes up. Oh, he said no 6 times, and it says what? No once. The guy goes, "It's fine. I liked
Yeah.
it," and
Yeah.
she went away.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah, that's a good example. I mean, and all
You can watch
scripts
that. You can watch that on my YouTube as well.
that's on there. That clip is on there. I gotta check that out for sure.
I'm the football bully.
Yeah, that's I mean, sometimes when you take something that's on paper and you make it your own, I mean, that's like you just said, that's acting. That's how it's done. I mean, my problem, and I think you might agree with me here. The best actors, it doesn't feel like you're acting. Like the worst is when you can tell that they're reading verbatim, a school
Yeah,
kid in eighth grade reading a language
yeah.
arts literature book.
That's what kills you at a casting office.
Yeah, I feel like there's a lot of young kids, just my opinion, because I watch a lot of indie horror. Even today, I watch some of the newer stuff, and maybe they're just nervous because they just got a new gig and they want to. They don't have the. So, in other words, you've been around forever. A young 20-year-old, 22-year-old who's in a horror movie maybe doesn't feel that confident to like, all right, maybe I shouldn't improv this and go off the cuff a little bit because I'm new and I don't want to piss people off. But in reality, they probably should. And what ends up happening is they stick to the script and it ends up sounding robotic. That's my opinion. I don't know. So I don't know if you have
Well,
that.
just remember, someone casted them.
Yeah, true, true. Yeah. So there's a reason behind it. But not only movies, Troy, you got to fill me in on something very important. I brought up my brother Justin and I said there was a connection to you and my brother Justin DiBiase. And you know what that connection is with my brother? Uh Pre-pandemic, I think it was 2019 or maybe it was early 2020. I don't remember. Must have been 2019. Went to the West Coast He went to a place where they sell delicious, delicious sandwiches, and it's called Fromin's Deli. Does this place really exist, or was he having a dream and was he intoxicated? Is this
You
a
know it
real?
exists.
It exists. It's a real Fromin's
You
Deli.
know Froman's is how could you not know that?
All right, so Fromin's Deli exists. He went there specifically looking to meet you, Troy Fromin. I don't think you were there that day, so it must have been a Sunday or something, or a
No,
Saturday.
I don't know, but I would have remembered meeting him.
Yeah, he was looking for you. He was looking for you, and next time I will tell him to go back to Troy Fromin's Deli. It's still you guys still selling sandwiches or what?
Oh, yeah, of course, man. We the best sandwiches. You like Reuben's?
Well, I mean, you're on Rue TV. Maybe is there a chance that we could name a Reuben sandwich after me, the Rue TV Reuben?
That's
Maybe.
a good idea.
I'm
Maybe
thinking of,
during Halloween.
look at this right
By the
here.
way,
Yeah.
you're not associated with Rue Morgue magazine, right?
No, but I'm familiar with the magazine, and after I got the nickname, which was God, it's God shit, I this 20 years going on. I found out about that magazine after the fact because that was more of a I remember I think that's newer than Fangoria was older, the original horror mag, and then Rue Morgue came along after, I think. So
I don't think it lasted much.
magazines are in print. I want to show you something, Troy. Look at this. If you can see this, maybe you can't, but I'm gonna where's it at? Right here. You're gonna get a kick out of this. So I wrote this earlier today, and we just talked about it. But now that I wrote it, if you can see, I'm gonna hold it up to the camera. Look at this right here. What's that first line say? Residuals, wonder
One,
years.
yeah.
Now, what are the odds that you had a wonder years check? And I don't know. Right there it is, right there. There's a better shot of it. Residuals, wonder years. And 20 minutes ago, you showed me a wonder years residual check without me even getting into this damn question. Is that fate, Troy Froman, or what?
Tell me the lotto numbers right now, motherfucker.
49, 72, 83.
That's pretty weird.
Well, before we get to the good shit that I wrote for you, I got a question. I think we also have and you know what? I don't know where the hell I haven't talked to this man in a long time. I haven't talked to him probably, I can't even remember the last time I talked to him. But I remember when I did talk to him and we were friends, he would always bring up Troy Fromin, Troy Fromin, Troy Fromin, Troy Fromin. I was like, I know Troy Fromin, Saved by the Bell. I know Troy Fromin. He wouldn't stop talking about Troy Fromin. I'm talking about the one and only, the Southern charm, the Southern gentleman himself, Josh Hinkle. Do you remember Josh Hinkle? Big Josh Hinkle.
Yes. Yes.
What the hell happened to him? I don't know where he went. Is he in hibernation? Is he in hibernation? Is he in the witness protection program?
Well, did you piss him off at all?
I may have. I don't know what, maybe indirectly. I might have
No.
pissed him off.
So you're not the one that stalked him on YouTube, right?
No. I was the matter of fact, the show that you're on, he used to be a co-host. I used to have him as a co-host for about maybe a year or so on the show. So
Oh.
he was a regular co-host for the show. So we were pretty tight, but I don't know where he went. He might have went somewhere.
Well, what I know, and I've talked to him because I got his phone number.
Yes.
Someone kept effing with him on his YouTube channel and just messing with him, and so he just deleted all media. He doesn't do media.
I think for some reason he believed that I was the troll that was messing with him, but I want to clear the air here tonight on Root TV. Big Josh, if you're watching, because you should be. I am not the troll. Clearly, I am not the troll that was messing with you on YouTube channel. We have better things to do, like eat peanut butter and jelly, delicious sandwiches, and coffee and beer and play with my pets. I don't have time to do that, Big Josh. I don't know why you thought I did. I think to answer your question, Troy, did I piss him off? I think that's exactly what the rift was. I think he thought I was the troll. So I hope
I don't
not.
know. All I know is forgive me, Josh, if you're watching.
Yeah.
He's a very sensitive person.
Yes, as we all are, but I think extra.
So it's not, he's ditched the media a couple times. But when I call him, he's answered a couple times and talked to him. But I
Yeah,
texted him recently and he hasn't called me back. But it
yeah,
was a lot of fun, fucking with him on the radio station, even though they only have two people watching or whatever.
yeah. Well, Josh, just to I hope you're doing well. I'll just end it at that because we haven't talked to Big Josh in a while. And we're gonna play right now on the show, Troy Froman, some word association. I got 10 names right here.
Okay.
One we just covered, but you know what? I'll still use it. It's all right. I got 10 names. Here we go. I'm gonna start from the bottom. I'm gonna start from the bottom up. Ready?
Sure.
Here we go. Dennis Haskins. People at home who are clueless right now, he played Mr. Belding on Saved by the Bell. Dennis Haskins.
Love him.
Haskins. I'm sorry.
Yes. I love him.
Good guy.
Yes.
Nice. All right. Mark Paul Gosselaar, who played Zach on the show, and I'm sure I butchered his last name.
Pleasant. Nice to me. No complaints.
All right. Lloyd Kaufman, Trauma.
I've never met him. I respect his uh, his movies, even though I've outgrown them.
Yeah.
But back when I watched Toxic Avenger,
Yeah.
oh, this is great, this is great, and and I was in you know Class of Nukem High 2 and 3,
Right. Right.
and back then this is like, oh, this is campy, this is fun,
Hmm.
and I look back at it now, it's like two opinions. Yeah, this is great from I don't know, nostalgia,
Yeah.
but yet it's crap.
It's kind of a weird dynamic with those type movies. It's like it's crap, but it's nostalgic crap, so it's not totally crap. It's kind of like it's
Right.
like
It's fun crap.
yeah, exactly. Um, Joaquin Phoenix.
Um, the way to answer that is I always knew I didn't want to bother him. I didn't want to come up to him and talk to him at all.
Yeah.
So I kept my distance
Hmm.
and I watched him as he worked, and it was great. I mean, there's one time we said hi, and I said he had a cigarette lighter because he was smoking his real cigarettes between the fake cigarettes. There's
Oh
always fake
yeah.
cigarette smoke on the set,
Oh
and it
really?
really
Well, there's
got me. It really got me bad here.
it's
They had two people just assigned to give cigarettes to the prisoners and light them and have the room full of smoke with cigarettes,
that
even though
was
it doesn't really show on the screen. I don't think I remember.
so
But
you had
anyway,
the prisoners had the real ones and Joaquin had the fake.
no, everybody had the fake, but
Okay.
Joaquin had a real one in
Okay.
between takes.
Gotcha. Okay,
So
gotcha.
when they go, okay, go to start or whatever, Joaquin would throw the lighter down the
Yeah.
hall.
Yeah.
So after the said, if you don't want to throw the lighter down the hall, I could just hold it for you in my pocket for you because I was sitting next to him. He goes, no, that's okay. That's it. That's all the dialogue we had.
Interesting. Very interesting. Did you, I hate to branch off, but there's something I wanted to ask you about that. I know catering must have been unreal for that movie compared to some of the smaller movies you work on. Um, did you enjoy the catering as much as I probably think you did? And also, um, I'm wondering if Joaquin Phoenix working on that movie, he had to stay at like he lost a shit ton of weight. I wonder if he was even able. I think for the first movie I read, he was only able to drink water, seltzer water, and eat apples. Like that's literally all he ate was apples and seltzer water, or something like that. But so did you for those 3 weeks? How long did you say 3 weeks you worked on it? Three
I
three
worked
weeks.
3 weeks. Yes, yeah.
Did you enjoy the catering? Did they feed you well?
They fed everybody over well. The
Good.
first day I was on there, they had freaking lobster tails.
Holy shit. Are you serious?
I'm serious, man. I mean, just picture yourself on a cruise ship.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Endless.
That's what it
Endless.
was. It was a cruise ship on the lot every day.
Wow. It's unbelievable. Yeah.
It is.
That's.
The same thing like with Grey's Anatomy.
Hmm.
Same shit, man. There were people eating plates of food. I said, "Oh, is it lunchtime?" Oh no, this is just a snack.
Yeah. Yeah. It's interesting to see the progression of catering when movies get big. I had just had a producer on the show, Phil Falcone, producer of Terrifier, and he was there from part one to part three. And part three was the number one movie in the country, not to overshadow
I know,
Joker.
I know.
You know what happened. But
I,
part two, it wasn't, it didn't break out till part two made money. So for part two to cut costs, he and his wife would cook like chicken cutlets for the crew, and that movie made millions of dollars. And then by part three, I think they had the works because it was they're making money, but no more homemade. But yeah, so yeah, I like asking about catering because I enjoy the tasty sandwiches and food. So, but other names on the word association. What about this one? Because there's an infamous shot of you picking him up. Mario Lopez.
nice guy. He
Yeah.
gave me his phone. He gives me his personal phone number, and I called him a couple times, but he wasn't around. So I didn't want to intrude on him too much.
He's still working. I mean, there was a time there when he was working had like 7 gigs or something, 7 TV gigs all at the
He's
same
got
time.
he's got a yeah, he's got some radio. He's got everything. He's got radio. He's got TV.
Yeah. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. A lot
He's
of
got
sort
he's got his own he's got his own wine thing going, or
real. I
beer, tequila.
didn't even know about that. Had no
He's
idea.
got his own tequila thing going. I saw. I don't know if it's still going, but he had his own tequila company.
Gotcha. Well, I didn't even know about that. Well, we got two more things on this list, but one of them we kind of talked about. We talked about Josh already, and that was already covered. So I know he's sensitive, so I don't want to bring it up. But Josh, we love you. Come back on the show. We'll have a talk, and we'll clear the air. So come back on the show, Josh.
Hey, come on, Josh.
Yeah, bring your
Water
ass
under the
back.
bridge, wherever it was, whatever.
And the last but not least, Bill Cosby. What do you think about Bill Cosby?
Um,
You never worked
well,
with him. You never worked with him, did you?
no, I never worked with him. He, I personally, I grew up loving the Cosbys.
So did I. So did I. I watched it every Sunday night, I think it was.
All right. Oh, and Fat Albert. I grew up on
Right.
Fat
Fat out,
Albert.
fat out. Me too. Me too.
I never met him, but he was about 500 feet from me at the Sun Devil Stadium in Arizona when we were doing the Tostitos rehearsal commercial,
Oh,
and he was
cool.
doing something right. Just so, I could just go over there and run to him, but he was busy. But
Yeah.
yeah. Anyway, that Bill Cosby, and I know whatever he did, and you know, It's different. I don't know. I'm not going to say, oh, I hate all the shit that I used to like because of what
Yeah.
happened now.
Yeah. It's kind of a weird thing. I think we're allowed to. There's a lot of that in music now. A lot of musicians who got outed for stuff. It's like, oh, I can't listen to the songs anymore, I guess, huh? Not allowed. I don't know. They're gonna cancel my ears, I guess. I don't know. Chop my ears off like a freaking.
Like Pee Wee Herman. I love Pee Wee
Oh,
Herman and
I
all
love
this shit,
POA. Yeah.
but I got wanking in the theater. I don't care. I wank all the time. I wank now if I could.
But you know what else? Pee Wee, Paul Rubens. I mean, I've never personally met him. A lot of people have. He was apparently was a sweetheart of a guy. So yeah, he didn't deserve to have that kind of, he was a butt of the joke for like 5, 6, 7 years. And then he kind of overcame that and had a little comeback there. And I don't know if you saw it. He had a Netflix movie about 7 years ago or something before he passed. And I'm glad he got that chance to reprise Pee Wee again. It's
Oh
still
yeah,
on.
the third Pee Wee movie.
Yeah, yeah, and it's on
Yeah,
Netflix. And
I saw it. I couldn't wait.
just like in the parallel between he and Norm Macdonald, who also passed away, very similar, they kept their cancer, their diagnosis on. Nobody knew they were sick. Nobody knew. I mean, maybe the people that were in their inner circle, of course, but I didn't know that Norm was sick. I didn't know that Pee Wee was sick. Paul Rubens was sick, should say. But
All
before we
right,
got, yeah. What's that?
name
What?
this Pee Wee Herman movie.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Let me hear. Go.
Yeah. I want a hamburger.
Oh, wait a minute. Not Big Top Pee Wee or we're not talking about. Oh man, I'm gonna kill myself if I not think of this. Not Big Top, not Pee Wee's Big
No, no,
Adventure,
no.
not Big. No,
No.
this is an obscure one. Shit. See, this is why I need the ginkgo biloba. Damn it, Troy Froman. You've stumped me again, Troy Froman.
It's one of the Cheech and Chong movies.
Uh, Clear the air.
It's one of the Cheech and Chong movies. Maybe the next movie. I'm not exactly sure.
But anyway, Troy Froman, before we got on the air today, I wanted to bring up, and it's one of the last things I want to talk about with you. Um, we also share a love for pets and animals, and you got a couple fur babies or one? You show me the one baby there that you got there, and my two cats, Sweet Pea and Halloween, are out in the living room sleeping at my feet during this whole show. Ladies and gentlemen, folks at home, has been Maui snoring away. I've got this mic so it doesn't pick it up on the mic. If I stuck this in her face, you would hear it, but I can't. Troy, how many pets you got at home right now?
We have the two, the Tabitha and
Two.
Buttercup.
Tabitha and Buttercup. I saw Tabitha. I didn't see Buttercup. Where's Buttercup been through this whole talk?
She's on the other side of the room.
Yeah.
She's Tabitha's not good. She's more adorable. What we got them for a mother had a litter with a couple fathers. She was the slut of the neighborhood, let's say.
Yeah.
So we got two different cats.
Cool.
One is a fat ass, shitty ass cat. It craps everywhere it wants to. So I'm continuously cleaning up and scrubbing the carpets but I love her. She's a retarded cat.
So she doesn't want to go in the litter box, or sometimes
No.
does?
She doesn't.
So why is it? Because you rate like lazy, doesn't want to go up to where you have it, or why?
I think so. It doesn't want to go up the stairs, basically.
Yeah.
But
That's interesting.
anyway,
I never really experienced that, but that's interesting. I didn't know
but
that.
Buttercup is a perfect angel cat.
Yeah.
She does everything perfect. You couldn't have a more perfect cat, in my opinion, than Buttercup.
Yeah. And they were people don't understand, people like Troy and I almost am befuddled as to why there are so many people. I mean, there's millions of people who are like us, of course, but there's also a shit ton of people who are the exact opposite, who have no empathy for animals, be it dogs or cats. What the fuck is wrong with these people, Troy? I ask a lot of my guests this. So you're probably the fourth or fifth that I've asked. Do you think maybe they, outside of maybe getting bit in the face when they're kids, what's wrong with people who don't like dogs and cats? What do you think it is? Do you think they're just soulless demons from another world, or are they just pieces of shit? What do you think?
Yeah, well, I got bit in the balls by my aunt's cat, my aunt's dog.
I got bit. Yeah.
When I was 14, when I was 16.
Yeah.
And it has not stopped my love for animals at all.
Yeah.
But people who are cruel to animals should burn in hell.
Well, that's another level for sure. Yeah.
And I don't even want to get into it.
Yeah.
I don't want to get into it. People do cruel things to animals, and they should burn in hell.
Yeah.
And the ones that adopt cats, like, my wife and I, this is our third set of cats.
Yeah.
Since we got married. And we got married when I was 23, and I'm 57 now.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, third set. And how old? I didn't ask you. How old are Buttercup and Penelope and Buttercup and Tabitha now?
I think since 2017.
Okay, 17, right? Yeah, I guess mine got you on a few years. I got mine are let's see, brought them in the house in 2013, the two that I have now. So they are officially next year, officially my oldest pets I've ever had. They'll be uh 12 next year. I guess you're a little older. They'd be in the house 12 years, so they weren't babies when they were brought in. So I guess maybe more so 12 and a half, 13. So yeah, I wish we could keep our babies forever, but sadly that's the curse of loving animals. You don't get to keep them as long as you want. But you know,
But they're in your memories forever.
oh yeah, absolutely. Ingrained, never forget. I will take that to my grave, and I try to set an example for other people and I know you do too. That's why I want to bring it up to if you can. I know sometimes it's hard, especially if you have other stuff going on, but try your best to adopt shelter animals because I know about around here, I don't know what it's like in LA or California, whatever city you're in. What city are you in California? Are you in LA right now, or where you at?
I'm in
I don't think I
well
asked you.
Mar Vista, Los Angeles.
Mar Vista, Los Angeles. So I don't know what the shelter situation is there, but the ones near Philly and South Jersey, they're always overcrowded. They're always filled. And if you have in your heart to get one, bring them home. They're sometimes they even, they're it's the best thing you'll ever do. Trust me. Uh enough
Absolutely.
enough preaching, but
If
that's
you
all.
can't love an animal, then F you in the A.
That's gonna be my that's I think that's gonna go on my tombstone when I pass away, hopefully in 80 years. I want that. Remember that, whoever is watching
Put it up
this.
to me.
And you can even put Troy Froman's name in air quotes on it. Troy Froman said this. Yeah. But Maui, you want to come on the show? Or you still sleeping? Yeah, she's out cold. She's out like a light.
All right, it's time to promote my latest movie.
Yeah, so Troy, before we get out of here, we have to absolutely promote the latest movie. And I know you sent me, I'm going to flash it on the screen in a second, that you were just telling me about From Embers. Tell us about From Embers and what the deal is with that and where people can check that one out and when.
Okay, for members, I auditioned on a self tape, and the lighting was horrible, and I thought this one, there's no chance in hell I'll get this part.
Yeah.
But then, like 3 weeks later, they call me, I got the part.
Yeah.
So I'm like, wow, you just never know what the hell. Anyway, so I play this. It's a dramatic thriller about this lady who lost her husband in a laboratory fire, and she starts picking up pieces and doing detective work that her husband was actually killed because of um, patent rights for some kind of thing. That's all I really know. But
Yeah.
I play a guy named Milo, and so she has to get a job, and she's got like an autistic or something like that son,
Hmm.
and so she has real hardships, no money at all. So
Right.
she's cleaning rooms at the sleazy motel.
Ooh, gotta go.
So I
Yeah.
so she knocks on this door, and there's no response. She keeps knocking at the door, and so she lets herself in, and she sees me, this guy in this towel with a beer and pizza boxes and this trash everywhere, like a total slob.
Yeah.
And then I
Yeah.
go off on her, and I go off on her, and I don't want to spoil the last thing I say to her.
Yeah.
But
And
she runs in fear.
when did you film that? When did you guys film that?
That was a couple of Julys ago.
Couple years ago. Okay. And
And it came out officially in I don't know how you really pronounce it, the Malales theaters, the
okay.
Malay.
La Malay theaters. I think that's how you say it with
Okay,
the
so it
silent
came out Los Angeles, Chicago, and New York for
right.
1 week.
Okay.
But that was like back in October.
Gotcha. Okay.
So now I'm still waiting for the release date for everywhere else. And I don't know. I keep checking every day.
Well, I mean, we'll give you that information for that movie. I mean, we're excited to see that. And any other Troy's movies, I want everybody to check out if you haven't seen them. I even want you to check out, and don't kill me, I want you to check out Joker. Absolutely want you to check out Joker 2, which is on Blu-ray very soon. I think next week it drops on Blu-ray DVD. I think it's already on digital. It's been on digital, but you can get it cheaper on Blu-ray if you want. And yeah, Troy, give us anything else you want to plug? Anything else you got upcoming? Any social media? Anything you want to plug? Let's get all the plugs in right now. Troy Froman, go.
I'm auditioning like hell.
Yeah,
Right now we're in a hiatus, but self tape after self tape to major shows and cable shows that you've heard of,
yeah,
but nobody's biting yet. So I'm just going to keep going forward because self tapes got me Grey's Anatomy and
yeah.
Joker 2 and the From Embers. So I know there's hope for me.
Did they do
There's
self
hope for
tape?
me.
There always is. Did they do self tape before the pandemic?
Not much.
But it really took off. Uh,
Yes.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, it saves a lot of time and money,
yeah,
especially for people that have a job and they gotta ditch the job and go run to the audition
yeah,
like I did.
absolutely. So they'll give
So
you, so they'll give you like they'll email you like the shit they want you to say, or
yes,
yeah,
yes, some of the do this like this, diagonally like this, say
yeah,
like this, like this. Here's your
yeah,
lines. Have fun with it. Do one like this. Do one on your own. Da da
yeah,
da. And then some go spider web elaborately, photos left degrees and like that. And that
yeah,
shit, I just like no.
yeah, yeah. It's too much. It's too much. Well,
Yeah,
I
but.
mean, keep
Mhm.
a great actor. Once said, well, actually, it was a quote from somebody, but he always lived by this mantra. You remember Sid Haig?
Yeah.
Yeah, I met him about 3 or 4 times at some horror conventions, and he always took time for fans and was such a nice human being. And you could tell he was genuine. He wasn't just blowing smoke up your ass. He was such a nice guy. But one of the things he would always say is the quote from Sir Winston Churchill that he gave to the graduating class of Oxford University. And the entire speech in its entirety was never quit, never quit, never quit. And that was it. Then he walked off the stage. And that was something that Sid always would tell people. And that was his advice when you asked him, Sid, you can give me some advice on how to break into acting, give me some advice on how to get this gig. I have this art that I'm doing. And he would just say, just never quit, never quit. And if, eventually it's gonna pay off. And if it doesn't, at least you tried your best and never fucking quit. So I miss you,
I
Sid.
got my famous quote from Sid Haig.
Yeah.
I live and die by the crystals.
Oh man. That's from an older Sid Haig movie. That's from crap. Well, now
Galaxy of Terror.
Galaxy of Terror. Yeah, Galaxy of Terror. Another old one he did was Spider Baby. Um yeah,
I love Galaxy of Terror. It's one of my favorites.
Galaxy of Terror is on I believe Tubi right now. I
Yeah.
believe along with of course his newer
Uh-oh.
ones.
We got to cut this off. My wife wants me to take her to the dinner.
Well, good timing because we're done anyway. We're done. We're wrapped up, Troy Froman. This was the greatest interview of all time. And it's yeah, we've talked our asses off, and it's time to go, Troy Froman. Thank you so much for coming on the show, Troy. I really appreciate it.
And you can find clips of everything we talked about on my YouTube
On Troy's YouTube, subscribe, watch the
or Tubi.
videos, or Tubi. Yeah. Yeah, I mean the easiest way to do it, I do it, is type in Troy's name on Tubi, and you have a shitload of all the stuff that we talked
Shrunken
about.
heads. Shrunken heads, man.
Absolutely. So for my dog Maui sleeping on the floor, for the one and only Troy Froman, I hope everybody has a good night. And look at that residual check from Wonder
Send me your
Years.
address. Okay. Have a good night.
I'll DM you, brother. Thank you so much for coming on the show, man.
Bye bye.
All right. Cheers, guys. Later.